Section: Introduction. In this section, we discuss the advancements in reasoning abilities of large language models, LLMs, over recent years. We recognize that while larger models and better training data play significant roles, new strategies that utilize inference-time computation have also proven effective. For instance, using prompts that encourage models to think step by step, or providing examples with intermediate reasoning steps allows for the generation of longer reasoning chains, even without specific fine-tuning. We also note that techniques like majority voting during decoding and chain-of-thought decoding help produce higher quality answers without needing external feedback. Recently, we have seen the rise of inference-time self-correction, where models, trained with reinforcement learning, RL, can identify and correct their earlier mistakes, leading to improved reasoning. This process resembles an aha moment, where the model realizes it has made an error and engages in a second round of reasoning to refine its response. A key idea we explore is that these inference-time methods may tap into hidden knowledge within the models, acting as effective tools to extract this knowledge for better reasoning. We propose that this hidden knowledge could relate to the model's ability to verify their own answers. Different methods invoke varying levels of self-verification, from the implied verification in zero-shot prompts to the more explicit verification in RL-trained models. We introduce LLM Monkey, which shows that with strong verification capabilities, we can sample multiple outputs from a model and choose the most accurate one, enhancing performance. Interestingly, we find that LLMs often excel at verifying answers compared to generating them, which may explain why methods that emphasize self-verification, like self-refine, are particularly effective. A central question we investigate is whether self-verification can also be applied to vision language models, VLMs. Recent studies suggest that VLMs, trained with similar RL strategies, exhibit aha moments, indicating they might possess the same self-verification capabilities as LLMs. However, we question whether these VLMs genuinely perform self-verification during inference or if these behaviors are merely superficial results of their training. To explore this, we compare two inference-time strategies. 1. Majority vote, which generates multiple answers and selects the final one based on consensus, relying on the model's ability to generate correct answers consistently. And 2. Self-verified best of n, which also generates multiple answers but uses self-verification to choose the best one, emphasizing the model's verification skills. Our findings reveal that the majority vote approach consistently outperforms the self-verified method across various RL-trained VLMs, indicating a significant generation verification gap in VLMs that is not present in LLMs. We further investigate the self-verification mechanism by comparing scenarios where the verifier has access to the original image input versus when it does not. Surprisingly, we find that the verifier performs better without the image input, suggesting a limitation in VLM's self-verification capabilities, as they do not effectively utilize visual information, which may hinder their performance in inference-time computation. In our contributions, we demonstrate that inference-time decoding strategies enhance reasoning performance in RL-tuned VLMs. We also show that the emergence of aha moments in these models does not significantly improve final reasoning accuracy, primarily due to their limited self-verification abilities. Our extensive experiments with various inference-time scaling frameworks support these findings. In the related work section, we highlight that inference-time scaling has become a valuable approach for enhancing LLM reasoning without additional fine-tuning. Various methods, including parallel decoding techniques and reward-based verifiers, have shown strong empirical gains. Additionally, we mention training time modifications aimed at improving inference-time behavior, such as inference-aware fine-tuning and sequential refinement approaches like think-speak, which encourage iterative revisions of answers. Section Summary. In this section, we discuss the advancements in reasoning capabilities of large language models, LLMs, and vision language models, VLMs, through inference-time strategies, highlighting the effectiveness of methods like self-verification and the emergence of aha moments. We find that while inference-time decoding strategies enhance reasoning in RL-tuned VLMs, the limited self-verification capabilities of these models contribute to a generation verification gap, ultimately affecting their reasoning accuracy. Section: Methodology. In this section, we explore the effects of different scaling methods during inference for vision language models, VLMs, which are typically used for text-only language models, LLMs. We assess how well these methods adapt to VLMs, focusing on performance improvements and the development of self-verification abilities. For our investigation into reinforcement learning, RL, for VLMs, we examine both the standard and RL-tuned versions of these models. Previous studies on LLMs have shown that RL-tuned models can experience an aha moment during reasoning, which enhances their performance. We aim to determine if VLMs trained with RL can achieve similar advantages. To do this, we utilize RL-tuned models from recent research within our experimental setup. These models are trained with a general RL goal that focuses on maximizing expected outcomes based on multimodal inputs, which include both images and text. We adopt a method called Group Relative Policy Optimization, GRPO, which simplifies the process by estimating a baseline from a group of sampled outputs, reducing memory use and processing time. For each multimodal input, we first create a snapshot of the current policy. We then generate several candidate outputs and calculate their advantages by comparing each output's performance to the average of the group. The policy is updated to maximize a specific objective that balances the current and previous policies while ensuring stability through clipping. A penalty term is included to keep the policy aligned with a reference policy. These RL-tuned VLMs are generally optimized using outcome-based rewards, and recent studies suggest they can perform at levels comparable to advanced models with fewer parameters. They also report the emergence of self-correcting behaviors, indicating that the models can recognize and address their reasoning errors, which reflects a form of adaptive scaling during inference. Regarding decoding methods for VLMs, we note that they generate text similarly to LLMs, but with added image embeddings in the input. We consider several strategies for sampling the next token. Greedy decoding selects the most likely next token at each step without any scaling. Decoding time majority voting samples multiple outputs and chooses the final answer based on majority agreement, which helps reduce errors from individual outputs. Another method, best of n sampling with self as verifier, also samples multiple outputs but includes a verification step where the model evaluates all candidates and selects the most reliable one. This approach highlights the model's ability to self-verify. Lastly, chain-of-thought decoding differs from greedy decoding by considering multiple candidate tokens at key points, allowing for various reasoning paths. Each path is assessed using a confidence metric based on the probability differences between the top candidates, with the path showing the highest confidence selected as the final output. Section Summary. In this section, we investigate the effectiveness of various inference-time scaling methods for vision language models, VLMs, and analyze their adaptability in enhancing performance and self-verification capabilities. We also explore reinforcement learning, RL, techniques, particularly Group Relative Policy Optimization, GRPO, to optimize VLMs and examine different decoding methods, including decoding time majority voting and best of n sampling with self as verifier, to improve output accuracy and self-assessment in generated responses. Section: Evaluating decoding methods. In this section, we evaluate the effectiveness of different decoding methods by using reasoning accuracy as our main metric. Accuracy measures the percentage of cases where the chosen answer exactly matches the correct solution. We prioritize accuracy over coverage, which looks at whether at least one generated answer is correct, because we do not rely on a strong oracle verifier. Our aim is to see if the model can independently verify and select the best answer, showcasing its true reasoning ability. We explore self-verification in vision language models, VLMs, a strategy that allows models to assess the accuracy of their outputs. By using the VLM itself as a verifier in the best of n decoding strategy, we can directly evaluate its self-verification skills. This process typically involves generating multiple candidate answers and scoring them based on confidence, coherence, and contextual relevance. This internal verification sheds light on the model's ability to identify correct reasoning paths and differentiate them from incorrect ones. To determine if VLMs can benefit from self-verification and effectively use visual inputs, we test various configurations of the best-of-n decoding method. In one setup, the self-verifier only receives the generated responses and the text question, excluding the image to assess the model's language-based verification. In another setup, both the image and text are provided, allowing for multimodal verification. We also investigate the concept of the aha moment, which signifies a key part of the self-verification process in LLMs, to see if it plays a significant role in VLMs. To systematically analyze these moments, we employ the aha search method, originally designed for LLMs, which connects aha moments to observable cognitive behaviors like backtracking and verification. We prompt GPT-4o with the generated response to check for these behaviors. If GPT-4o identifies backtracking or verification, we label the response as containing an aha moment. We introduce two metrics to evaluate the impact of aha moments on reasoning performance. The first is post-aha accuracy among selected predictions, which calculates the likelihood that a selected answer with a confirmed aha moment is correct. The second is aha potential recovery rate from incorrect predictions, which examines whether aha moments can help recover from wrong answers by checking unselected responses for correct answers that also contain aha moments. For our empirical evaluation, we use the GeoQA170K and MathVista datasets. GeoQA170K consists of unique geometric reasoning question-answer pairs, filtered to 754 samples, with questions presented as image and text prompts. MathVista covers a wide range of visual question-answering tasks, including geometric and algebraic reasoning, with 1,000 samples in the test mini-split. Answers can be free-form or multiple choice, and we utilize a language model to determine if predicted answers match the correct ones. Section Summary. In this section, we evaluate decoding methods using reasoning accuracy as our primary metric, focusing on the model's ability to self-verify its answers without relying on an external verifier. We explore self-verification in vision language models, VLMs, through the best-of-n strategy, assessing their performance with and without multimodal inputs, and investigate the impact of aha moments on reasoning accuracy using specific metrics to determine their contribution to correct predictions and error recovery. Section: Inference Setup. In this section, we describe our experimental setup and findings. We conducted our experiments on two computers, one with an NVIDIA A4090T and the other with an NVIDIA A100 GPU. We evaluated a range of models, from the basic Qwen2 VL2B and Struct to several Qwen-based models that were fine-tuned with reinforcement learning. The models we tested include VL2B, VL7B, VLAA Thinker Qwen 2.5 VL3B, VLAA Thinker Qwen 2.5 VL7B, and VL Rethinker 7B. For our decoding methods, we used a configuration with a temperature of 0.6, top K set to 50, and top P at 0.9 for sampling-based methods like majority voting. For chain-of-thought decoding, we set the temperature to 0. We employed GPT-4o Mini as the judge for evaluation tasks like MathVista grading and aha moment detection, and we fixed the random seed for reproducibility. In our discussion, we share key insights from our study, supported by extensive results. We found that reinforcement learning trained visual language models, VLMs, benefit from parallel decoding strategies like majority voting. However, the effectiveness of sequential inference time scaling, which relies on self-correction, is less clear. Our results suggest that self-correction does not significantly enhance VLM reasoning. We explored this limitation and found that RL-trained VLMs struggle with self-verification. We present two pieces of evidence. First, majority voting consistently outperforms verification-heavy methods like best-of-n sampling with self-verification. Second, surprisingly, the self-verifier performs better when visual input is not included, indicating that the model does not effectively use visual information during verification. These findings highlight a gap in current VLM capabilities and mark a step toward understanding the limitations of inference-time scaling in multimodal reasoning. We summarize the performance gains of various inference-time scaling techniques compared to the baseline greedy decoding in our results. Notably, methods based on best-of-n show limited gains and in some cases, even decrease performance, particularly for the VLAA models. In contrast, generation-focused methods like majority voting achieve more consistent performance improvements. Our analysis shows that answers identified as containing aha moments do not lead to higher accuracy, suggesting that these moments do not reliably enhance reasoning. We also assessed whether aha moments could correct wrong predictions, but the probabilities remained low, indicating that encouraging such behavior alone is not enough to improve performance. Furthermore, we quantitatively assessed verification ability using best-of-n decoding with self-verification. Our results show that majority voting consistently outperforms self-verification, which contrasts with findings in the literature where verification is typically easier than generation. This raises concerns about the effectiveness of current RL techniques in providing VLMs with strong self-verification capabilities. Another key observation is that RL-trained VLMs sometimes verify their outputs more accurately when visual input is excluded, particularly in the GeoQA dataset. This suggests that including images does not help the model judge correctness, indicating a failure to integrate visual context during self-verification. Our findings reveal that current VLMs do not fully utilize visual information in verification, and we call for future research to enhance their multimodal verification capabilities to improve reasoning performance.